Okay. Hello, everyone. Nice to have you here. So after the two presentations by Luca and Augusto, I will go a little bit more in depth about what the ESABIC Brindisi is doing and which are, the main rules to apply, for everyone who maybe here in the audience is interested in applying to ESABIC. So I'll go very fast with this slide. We already said about the importance of ESABIC Brindisi. We're talking about more than 30 different nodes all around Europe. They support many startups every year. So in the Italian landscape, we have ESABIC Brindisi, which is managed by DTA, and we of course have the support of Italian Space Agency and European Space Agency, and we also have more than 10 academic and industrial partners that support our activities. So who is ESABIC for? ESABIC is aimed at entrepreneurs and startups who develop applications and solutions for that have a space connection. So we're talking about not only suppliers in the space sectors, but also all the activities related to spin-in or spin-out processes. So for example, technologies that come from other sectors to space sectors and vice versa. The application is focused on already established startups with less than 5 years of age or informal teams. These are the partners I was talking about. So as you can see, we have the support from some of our shareholders, of DTA shareholders. So Polytechnic of Bari, University of Bari, University of Salento, Enea. Also a very strong, industrial part with Planet, Exital, Enginsoft, Exprivia, IMT, and so on. Other partners which are outside the DTA shareholding, for example, Arthur D. Little, La Forgia Bruni & Partners, Unicredit, and also Telespazio, with which we signed a cooperation agreement on ESABIC on last May. So let's go a little bit on what we offer for startups and teams. So basically the standard package which every ESABIC offers consists of some amount of capital, 50K of zero equity funding. Specifically, 25K are from Italian Space Agency, and the other 25K are from the local co-founder, which in our case is Regione Puglia. We also give coaching, so specifically 80 hours of technical supports from technical experts from DTA, ESA, and ASI, 50 hours of business coaching, and 10 hours of legal and IPR advice, so for all the matters related to intellectual property. We give support to fundraising and networking, so the access to our network, the guidance for new fundraising opportunities, talking with the investors, and also being trained to talk with investors, and the participation in many events, workshops, and all activities that are dedicated to the startups and that can be useful for their development. Finally, we also have, in DTA headquarters, a very big space for co-working, for office and desk that can be used by startups to be, in a shared environment. So how to apply? Let's go into, the operative phase, let's say. So everyone who wants to apply to ESABIC has to prepare an application that you can find on our website, esabicbrindisi.it. There are basically 3 main documents: a cover letter, a business plan, and an incubation proposal that have to be compiled and filled out and submitted. So the first phase of evaluation will evaluate the different criteria that should be respected with respect to the application package. Then, if startups pass this first phase, will be evaluated by a committee, the Tender Evaluation Board, composed by ESA members, ASI members, and members from the ESA BIC Brindisi partnership. So the evaluation criteria will be on business part, but also on technical part, on the background on the team, and the space connection. In the event that you are selected, you are, of course, start the program and work with us to develop your business idea. So let's see the first result. I will give you a little bit of stats about the first call of proposal. We started in November 2023 with the activities of ESA BIC Brindisi, and we had just one call. We had more than 25 screen teams with 12 applications. The selection was very, very tough for the startups, and we had just 2 selected teams, but we hope that some of the other teams that were not selected right now can improve their idea and submit another application next time. So for everyone interested, the next cutoff date is June 7th, 2024. You have time to submit your application till midnight, and you can find all the information on our website. Lastly, I want to say that we are doing not only the incubation program for the startups already incubated and selected, but we also offer many, many services to everyone who is interested in entrepreneurship, starting a startup, just understanding how the world of space startup work. That's why we decided to, offer to everyone who decided to apply personalized support and one-on-one office hour to develop their business idea. We are also organizing different events. For example, this is one organized with SEDS Italy and SEDS Poliba, which are the students association for Space Students Association in Italy. And we will have different workshops regarding different aspects of how to start the startups, how to talk to potential customers, how to pitch your idea, and so on. So this is very interesting, and it will be a very hands-on and interactive experience. After this session, so after the ESA BIC one, not just my speech right now, we will have a space cake at DTA stand, just a very informal, moment to share ideas, know each other, and, trying to come together and, know each other, yeah. So what I have to say is these are my contacts. You had the QR code for our newsletter. You can be updated on all the activities, and that's it from my side. So now I think we can start a little bit of the panel with 2 Apulian experiences that are part of the ESA BIC network. So I would like to ask to come to the stage to Davide Vittori, COO of AICO and co-founder of Astrodyne, and to Giorgio Lorini, operations of Aerospace. Please, guys. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. I wanted to... Can you hear me? Yeah. I wanted to have this, little conversation with you because I think it's very interesting to have a testimony from 2 Apulian startups that are already in the ESA BIC network, that are already having, using this kind of support that ESA and its partners are providing, to understand what was your journey to arrive to the moment you are right now. So maybe we can start with Giorgio and then with Davide. So you can describe a little bit to us your startups and what are your latest activities and achievements.
Thank you so much, Mario. So I'm representing today Aerospace, a new startup from Apulia, based in Fasano. The idea was born from our CEO, Flavio Gentile, which is sitting here as well with us today, couple of years ago. And our main product at the moment is a spacesuit implemented with some sensors and electrodes, which are providing to the astronaut in this case, which will wear this suit, some stimulations, which are going basically to be a countermeasure for the decrease of muscular tone and bones tone as well during.
Maybe we can go with the video clip, Regia.
During the missions. And very recently, we have the opportunity to launch a first prototype with Axiom Space a couple of months ago in January. It was not the fully equipped suit, but we are aiming in the future, in the following months, to launch another prototype, more equipped, let's say, and hopefully we will be able to as well open up to other types of sectors, avionics and also the healthcare sector. It's going to be a suit very useful for people which have problems with the musculoskeletal system. So we are aiming as well to be able to open up with the following versions to different sectors outside the space one, obviously.
Please, Davide.
Should I wait for the video, maybe?
Can we change? Possiamo cambiare il video? Quello di Astrodyne?
And I can go ahead with my presentation. So my name is Davide. I'm with Astrodyne. Astrodyne is a startup founded a couple years ago, and we specialize in solar panels, which you see right here in the video. So these are CubeSats, small CubeSats, and this is the solar panel that is opening up. So it's a solar panel in an origami-based configuration that has a textile substrate. So the idea is the following. In space, weight and space are limiting factors for the mission. As we transition towards missions that are more complex, more ambitious, more power hungry, how can we make a product that can satisfy the energy needs while being as light and as compact as possible? And so that's where we came in. We developed this solar panel, it's called Solar Cube, that is based on a textile substrate and that can generate up to 50% more power while being 3 times as compact as alternatives on the market. We're currently at TRL4. We plan to fly next year in 2025. And in our roadmap, we also have similar products, but for terrestrial applications. So all of the off-grid locations, wherever the grid does not reach, where convenience, weight, transportability are key, that's also where we want to go with our solar panels.
Thank you. So I'm really curious about understanding how you get the idea, because these are very, non-trivial ideas, I think, and it's very interesting to understand what was your thinking process with your co-founders, with the other people in your startups, also to give suggestion to young entrepreneurs how they could do it.
Yeah, I would say the history of Rea is very peculiar because the idea was born with basically a documentary that our CEO Flavio was watching from National Geographic. Basically, he understood that the spacesuits that the astronauts were wearing were not actively doing anything in particular to the astronauts. They were not a real countermeasure. So he thought about implementing like an active system that could in certain way keep the muscles active and as well be a countermeasure for the other effects caused by microgravity in space. So he's basically taking and opening up a little bit in the market in Europe, because these kind of activities are not really present in Europe. All the human spaceflight startups and company are mainly based in US, because ESA in particular is not doing a lot in this sense. They are more on satellites, rovers, robotics. Obviously we have astronauts, and that's exactly also how we are getting the opportunity of testing our prototype. We recently did it with the Colonel Villa Day during Axiom 3. So it's obviously it's important, but we are trying to open up a new market as well here in Europe.
Astrodyne was born in the wrong way. So usually companies, usually startups are born to solve a problem. Astrodyne was born with a technology and then tried to understand how the technology could solve a problem. The technology was is a manufacturing process to integrate textile material with electronic components. And it was born from one of the founders at NASA JPL. Then myself and the other two founders, we met at a PhD at Politecnico di Bari. And we formed the company, and we tried to understand where the technology could be applied. So what could be a product that could solve a problem in a market in which this technology would be key. And since all three of us had a lot of familiarity with the space market, we said, is there an application where there is a need for compactness, for efficiency, for resiliency? And that's how we ended up with the solar panel.
Okay. I think these are both very interesting stories. You know, for every startups, we always hear about the valley of death that is very bad for many who are trying to found and scale a startup. What was your biggest challenge during these 2-3 years that you are active in pursuing this objective?
So from our side, with Rea, I mean, as I was saying before, it's a new reality, and we are trying to open up this new sector within the space one of like human space flight in Europe. So it was very hard to get in touch with American realities because, I mean, it took a while, but we made it. Obviously, both Axiom Space and SpaceX, NASA, obviously, Blue Origin are all flying with their own vehicles, humans in space, while Europe doesn't have anything like that. So at the beginning, obviously, being in Europe, we were trying to approach ESA mainly, but we found out, obviously, it was easier to go through the Americans. But it was obviously harder to get in touch with them, and it took a while, but hopefully we'll be able to do something like that in Europe as well, and maybe more realities will come up in the future.
You mentioned the Valley of Death. So it's that period of time in which the company is not selling anything yet, so you're not making any money, but you have a lot of costs. You need to pay people, you need to prototype, you need to buy materials, and so on. And in space, it's especially pronounced because until you demonstrate something in orbit, it's very hard that anyone will buy it. For us, the main challenge to date and of the past few months has been to identify something that people want. Because at the end of the day, you can fake it for a bit. You can say there will be someone that will buy it. But then when you need the money from the investors, for instance, to survive the Valley of Death, you need to demonstrate that there will be someone that will buy the product once you actually validate it, once you prove that it works. So it is a thing that we are still struggling with today. We're trying to understand what are the needs of the market, how big does the solar panel need to be, how light does it need to be, how much power does it need to produce, what satellite can it be attached to, and so on. And I think that it's something that we will need to deal with for the months to come.
Last question. So just, try to imagine, for example, yourself some years ago or another aspiring entrepreneur. Which suggestion would you give them?
Obviously, it's very important to be aware of the environment where you are settling. So we managed to did what we have done so far. Also working with, obviously, with the ISABIC, the Italian Space Agency, the Italian Air Force. But as well all the people that got involved with the reality of REA were extremely dynamic people. So it's very important to create a team which is a mix of, like, obviously people with a lot of knowledge, but also which are aiming to do a lot of work, and while at the same time being able to be, let's say, interdisciplinary within the different kind of aspects that you have to face while creating a startup. So you have to be here and there all the time doing different things. So it's I would say very important to create a good mix of people at the beginning with different kind of background and which are aiming to work hard for a while.
Fully agree with what Giorgio was saying, especially in the first part about the awareness. It is necessary to be aware of what awaits you. So know a bit the market, know a bit what problem you're trying to solve, know a bit how startups work, have a business sense, understand what a business plan is, why it's important, but at the same time, don't be too aware. If you try to identify all the problems beforehand, you will realize that there are so many problems that you will need to understand and you will need to solve that will discourage you. So there's never a right time to start. You need to, again, have some awareness, but not too much. You need some ingenuity. Once you have a minimum feeling that it could be something right to do, that there could be someone that will buy it, that it is technically feasible, then just go for it without waiting for the right time, because the right time will never come.
Thank you, guys. I hope we managed to motivate someone in the audience, or maybe someone who is following from home, and not deter them to do a startup now. So now we are in the moment, many of us were waiting. So we will announce the startups that are selected by Isa Big Brindisi. So I know each of you know the names, so please, Giorgio, tell the name of the first startup.
Flight Demons.
I ask them to come to the stage. So maybe get up, everyone. So the second one is?
Versosat.
Okay. So guys, come here. I would like to ask to August as well to come to the stage, so we can have this, brief moment to celebrate these first two startups. Guys, so I will start with you. So tell us a little bit about your idea in 30 seconds, and what do you expect from that program?
Sure. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lorenzo Badano. I'm a space engineer from Milan, and with me today is Alessandro Turano, space engineer from Lecce, and connectly from remote, Marco Aprea, telecommunication engineer from Taranto. So the idea behind Versosat is to develop the first fully integrated transceiver for small satellites capable of communicating with large SATCOM constellations and utilizing them as gateways for transmitting data to the ground. This will assure higher bit rates and continuous data availability.
So first of all, it's an honor for us to have been selected by Vic. And for us, this is our first significant milestone. About the program, we hope to find some valuable technical and strategic help to help us to enable us to fully exploit the potential of our idea. Okay?
Thank you, guys. So I see a black box here. Maybe you can describe a little bit about Flying Demon?
Of course. Our aim of our company is to find a radioactive source in the environment, check if a place is safe from the radioactive, And this will be done with our prototype. This was made. The technology comes from our background that was in astrophysics. We are astrophysics, and with this technology, we are able to catch the gamma and to try what is the radioactive source that have generated this gamma for safety purpose, or just to check if something is wrong in a place.
What do you expect from the program?
Yeah, of course, we did a lot since we started 1 year ago to develop this prototype. And in 1 year, we was able to produce something that was able to, fly and start our survey. But with the DSABIC, we want to improve our TRL, so we want to improve the technology, and of course also enter into the business, in the market, because as Corrado told, we are only physicists, we are scientists, and so we want to learn also about the market and how to make business with our idea.
Thank you guys, and welcome to ISABIC Brindisi. So please, a big round of applause to all of them. So I don't know if Luca is still with us. Maybe he can give a final blessing to the two startups. Regia. Maybe Augusto, you 2 words.
Okay, first of all, congratulations and good luck for the future. I just would like to tell you that you should try to catch at the maximum extent what you can get here from the business incubation center, and also try to learn from the experience that other startups have done before you. So good luck, and I hope to listen about you in the future.
Okay, so thank you very much to all. Now there's the space cake at DTA stand. So coffee and cupcakes are waiting for us. So please, we can go. Thank you very much.